Good week, good Thursday. Hope you're having a great Thursday wherever you are in the world, whether you're in India, whether you're in Europe, whether you're in South America, whether you are anywhere in the world in America. Hope you're having a good day. So this is Blair Singer. Those of you who don't know me, Rich Dad Advisor to Robert Kiyosaki, author of 3 best-selling books. And what we're going to be doing on this live stream this week is I want to talk, one of the questions that came up last time had to do with who are my coaches? Who are my coaches? And I would include with that, who are my mentors? So I want to share, I'm not going to share who all of them are necessarily, but how I got them and how you can get them. Because if you're going to start a business, if you're an employee looking to start your own business and become maybe self-employed, or you're a self-employed, you're already solo and you want to move into a bigger business that runs itself without you, mentorship and coaching is not an option. It's a requirement. Why? Because you're going from something you know to something you don't know. So how in the world are you going to figure out how to do that unless you have a guide, somebody to help you, both on the technical development side, or the things you need to learn about the business and the structuring and all that, and also about how to handle the difference in psychology. Because as you know, the difference in psychology, hey, greetings from India, Sivaram. The differences in psychology are hugely different, and those are the ones that are going to hurt you and sabotage you. So I want to cover some of that today. Now, another thing before I get into this, if you want to get this information and get it quickly, then what I suggest that you do is subscribe to whatever channel you're on. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, subscribe to whatever's going on, and we will give you some notices as to when when this stuff is happening or when it got posted, so you don't miss any of it, because all of it is usually still on the platform. The other thing is we're going to be making available to you, if you want to talk about it and need some further help, then you'll have a place to go do that too. Not just yet, but we really want to support. These are crazy, crazy times. I had mixed emotions about doing this today because of what's going on in the world today. I was on a call this morning with Thailand. We had quite a few people on that call talking about training and why it's no longer an option. Just like I'm saying, mentorship and coaching is no longer an option. These days, you must have training, you must have coaching, and you will not get it in school. I don't know how to say it any more bluntly than that. School teaches you nothing about financial freedom, about health, about happiness, your mental health, none of that stuff, which are things we need the most, okay? It teaches you nothing about that. And if that's the case, then you got to be able to seek out education, seek out trainers, seek out people, and be able to sift through the hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people who are currently posting things online to teach you something or another. Not that they're bad, but I would say 95% of them have a very limited amount of experience, and the depth is very, very shallow. You need more than that. If you're going to put yourself, your time, your income on the line and really make a bold move for yourself, you need to have good teachers and good mentors. So the first thing I want to say, and again, type in your questions and comments. Good to see you by live video. Yeah, good. Same to see you, Sanchita. I just saw you the other day. Who's this? This is Ron McKenzie from High Performance Salon Academy. Good to see you, my friend. So hopefully you get some value out of this. So again, those of you that I'm just shouting out, you know what I'm talking about. Training, coaching, and mentorship used to be luxuries. If I have some income and some time, I'm going to do it. No more. That's not the case anymore. Why? Because everything is way too complex, and it's crazy. You have to ask yourself, how do I find the truth about the pandemic? How do I find the truth about Afghanistan? How do I find the truth about how to sell? How do I find the truth about what really works to start a business? You have to think about that, don't you? Because the sources are not so easily found. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of misinformation out there. That's why my mission is to create the best teachers and leaders, facilitators in the world that know how to teach, that know how how to give good education and speak the truth and from their perspective and from their experience, because that's how we learn, by our experience, by trial and error, not by what somebody else tells us to think. Okay, so enough about that right now. Let's get back to the topic. The topic is training, coaching, mentorship. Number one, not an option. Requirement. Okay, Sun Tzu, the great author, the great warrior of Chinese lore, said, if you don't know your enemy and you don't know yourself, every battle you're in peril. Makes sense. You don't know the opposition. You don't know yourself. Okay. If you know your enemy and you don't know yourself, you're still somewhat at peril, but you got a better chance, 50-50 chance. Or flip it over. You know yourself, but you don't know the enemy. You got a 50-50 chance in any battle. But if you know the enemy and you know yourself, you'll win every battle, or you'll succeed and learn from every battle that you take on. Same is true in business. Know what you're up against. Who's going to tell you what you're up against? A good mentor will help you that. Who knows what else you're up against? You're up against yourself. A good coach will help you with that. Understand the difference? The mentor's been there, done that, understands the technical business development world you're going into. The coach understands what's going on between your brains, between your ears, in your brain. Okay. So again, both are required. I have many of them. I have a health coach. I have a health and fitness coach. I have 2 or 3 or 4 actually little voice coaches, and I'm just talking to another one. Okay. I have several mentors who help me in property and real estate, help me in my business, help me with investing, help me with my taxes. Those are 4 different people. Okay. Some of them I contract with to do some of my work, like my tax stuff, but most of them, I rely on them as mentors to me. How would you do this? What happens next? Because I don't have the bandwidth to do it. It's too much. I talked about this book before. I'll talk about it again. Why am I saying that mentorship and coaching and training is not an option? Well, if you read this book, this is a great book. It's called Price of Tomorrow by Jeff Booth. Jeff Booth had several startup companies, sold them, made millions of dollars, possibly even billions of dollars. He's a technology wizard, and the book mostly talks about technology. If you could imagine a curve, okay? Imagine a curve. So here we are as a human being, and we're presented with information. So the growth of information for many centuries just kind of trundled along. Then what happened is that in the Industrial Revolution, when we started making machinery, it started to increase in steepness, that information curve. Then with the advent of the microchip, sending an Apollo mission to the moon and back, all of a sudden began to take off. And with microchips now, with what's happening, the growth of information doubles like every 6 months. All the information on planet Earth doubles every 6 months, okay? I mean, the information is already there, but discernible to human beings. So the growth curve of information and the growth of technology is exponential. You can't even imagine it. And he gives an example in here by how you can't imagine it. And it affects every single business. It's affecting you now. Why is the pandemic so crazy? Why is the economy so crazy? Because most people don't understand what's going on out there. Okay? For example, Jeff Booth talks about when he was 12 years old. Let me read this to you. He was 12 years old. He wanted to be rich. Common. And so he'd often joke with his parents. So his parents gave him a little quiz. I'm going to give you the same quiz. They said this. This was a hypothetical quiz. You have 2 choices, A and B. A, I'm going to write you a check for $1 million today. $1 million. Okay? Or B, I'm going to give you 1 penny, 1 cent. 1 cent is 1/100th of $1. Okay? So I'm going to give you 1 penny today. We're going to double it tomorrow. We'll double that the next day, and we're just going to do that for 31 days. 31 days. So which do you want? Which do you want? A or B? The $1 million? Or do you want the penny a day doubling? Okay. Well, obviously you may understand this. At 12 years old, I would have picked $1 million for sure. But in fact, in just 31 days, that single penny doubling would become, listen to this, $10,737,418. Understand? So the doubling effect, we don't see it. It's not intuitive to us. I mean, we know it because somebody told us about it, but we don't feel it. We don't see it. It's not part of what we see, touch, and feel. So the reason it's so confusing right now, the reason it's so difficult is we're in that skyrocketing curve right now. So as that curve goes up, trying to keep up, if you're just in the trucking business or you're in the restaurant business or the food business or any business, what's going on around you is happening so quickly, you just can't keep up. And school as an industry has a 40-year lag time, according to authorities. Okay, 40 years. That's the time between an idea or state-of-the-art teaching and its use in the public sector. So with everything that's just happened, it's going to be 20, 30, 40 years before you ever see it taught in any school. So school is no answer for you. And we've talked about this on other calls. So good coaching, good mentorship. Now, why the coaching side? So obviously on the business development side, I need some help on that curve. But what about the personal development side, which is the other side of training, coaching, and bettering yourself? So as that curve went up, something else happened in February, March of 2020. As that curve went up, another curve went down exponentially. That's mental health. In other words, the ability to deal with stress, complexity, to deal with other people as we got locked down, zeroed out, a deadly disease roaming the planet and going through variations and mutations, puts people in fear, because it kills people, right? All these things kind of happened at the same time. So while there's an exponential growth of information and technology, at the same time, there's an exponential downturn of mental health. Now, I don't mean you're a crazy person. I'm talking about depression. I'm talking about, just so you know, at least in America, last year, the percentage increase of drug addiction, substance abuse, domestic abuse, violence, all skyrocketed last year. Why? Because people don't know how to deal with what's going on. That's why you need a coach to manage your little voice, okay? So I hope I made my point that why you got to have it. So exceptionally thankful for you and your coaching. Continue blessings, health, journey. Thank you for that, Madison. I attended your Train the Trainer 14 years ago. Totally shifted my business and my life. Thank you. Mustafa. Hey, Blair. Good to see you, Mustafa. Samir. Yes, sir. Who's this? Ring, ring. How are you? I'm from South Sudan in Egypt. I live in Cairo. Could you help me, please? My phone number is, okay. Ron McKenzie. Okay, we talked about Ron McKenzie. We talked to Ron McKenzie. Okay, so no, I'm not going to be able to call you in Sudan, but maybe you could take a little advice now that you know that you got to have training, coaching, and mentorship. Particularly if you're going to start a business, okay? So how do you find a mentor or a coach? Okay, let's start with coaches. There are millions of them around. First thing, referral. Now, I don't mean to kill a lot of coaches out there with their marketing, but for me and for coaching, because there are so many, probably the best way is to look at their marketing, see what they're doing, experience them a little bit, get a trial, something like that. But for me, I'm just going to tell you the truth is for me, and a lot of coaches won't like me for saying this, referral only for this boy. Referral only. If I have a friend that has had a good experience with a coach or a mentor, particularly a coach, I ask them more about it. I go to sources that I know are reputable. The people that I know through other people that I know through other people that I know through other people that I know are reputable. I've never hired a coach off the internet. Okay. But you've got to, just like any investment, you've got to be willing to do your due diligence. You got to be willing to find out about them. Do they fit your needs? Okay. They'll all say they do, but do they? And do they have the case studies to prove them? And are they relevant? And how does your gut feel about them? And, these are things are all very important. And can we just do a trial period or pay them for like 30 days to see how it works out, but be willing to shift if it's not working? Now, not working with a coach doesn't mean that they're a bad coach. They may be a great coach. That's why it's not working, because they're pushing on your resistance, okay, which is a good thing. So you need to understand the differences between the two, okay? When it comes to mentorship, like I say, referral only. If I've had one person, I've had thousands of people over the years come up to me and say, I want you to get Robert Kiyosaki to mentor me, because they know I'm his friend. I'm going, no, that's not going to happen. They go, no, but I'm a good student. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. That may be true, but that's just not going to happen. Or people have come up to me and say, I want you to mentor me. And I go, okay, so we have a mentorship program, okay? And I'm happy to mentor you, even one-on-one at some level if you're a part of that program. But we're just off the top of my head, I'm not going to do that. Why? Well, because I value my time, number one, and you value yours. And I don't even know that we're a good match, okay? So again, I think to understand, here's how you do get a good mentor, okay? If you're going to get a mentor, now a mentor is long-term, somebody that's going to help you as you're growing your business. Number one, I already talked about referral. Number two, if they're a trainer type person, if they do programs, go attend a program. You sit in a room or on a Zoom call with somebody long enough, you begin to kind of get where they're coming from, and you kind of and then do a second one and see if they're congruent with all that. See how they answer questions, and see if that's the type of person that you want to hang out with, or you want to support you. Okay. Another thing you can do. Find a way, if you like a particular person, find a way to support them. How can you support them? Don't go up there and say, I really want you to mentor me. How can I support you? No. Find out other ways. If they have programs, if they teach, volunteer to support them in their programs. Attend numerous times. Show that you're a great student. Be their prize student. Take the information they give you or they're giving to the public and get huge wins out of it and share that with them. Then go to them and say, look, I've been volunteering for your organization for a long time. I really love what you do. It's changed my life. I've done this, this, and this, and this. I want to go to the next level, and I'd like to know what I need to do to be able to get mentored by you or something like that. Now, chances are you still won't get mentored, but you'll get noticed and you'll get referred to probably the next best thing that you can do. And until it's such level that you are really an avid student of theirs and you've earned the right. I want you to hear this again. Earned the right to be mentored by a multi-millionaire, a billionaire, somebody that's done what you want to do. Okay? Because people approach people like that all the time. You have to somehow demonstrate to them and to the world, not just through your words, but through your actions, verifiable actions, that you're able to do some of these things. And then you got a better chance of somebody taking you on, okay? Ask to support them, okay? In whatever way you can. Maybe you don't even talk to them. You talk to their other leaders. How do I support? And be seen as a supporter. So when it comes time to really ask them a question, then you're highly referred by the leadership of that organization. Okay? If that makes sense. All right? Good. Very good. So that's kind of a little bit how you find a mentor. Okay, hey Blair, I was on stage. Another one on stage in Amsterdam, 2019. You said that if I didn't do this, that you'd come find me. I was the woman wearing the Warrior Camp T-shirt, and Simona Prandi came to find me to check. I understand you told me. Yeah. Well, I'd like to say thank you. I now have a decent sized audience of of my ideal client who I talk to and teach online, in lives, and always think of your words. You inspired me to show my authentic self. You're a fantastic mentor. Oh, thank you. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. And so sometimes a mentor is not going to be there for you to cozy up to every single day. They may be willing to coach you. They may be willing to give you a word or two, and you'll probably have more than one mentor in your life, but you got to have them. And the coach that you have at this level may not be the coach you have at this level, may not be the coach you have at a higher level. Why? Because your needs change and their expertise may or may not change as you grow. Okay. So coaching, mentoring, training, basically the same thing. I would say that these days, my business right now, part of my business is creating some of the best teachers, leaders, and facilitators in the world. I mean, that because, and I'm not going to share the whole mission with you, but I believe without those type of people in the world today, our society has taken a bad turn all over the world. But I think that that tide will change as people's moods change, but also as there are great trainers, teachers, and coaches in place that understand how to teach and how to get people to really learn. Okay. So again, and by the way, if you want to check me out, some of you are on YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Or on Facebook, or go to blairsinger.com and check out a few of the videos. Just check them out and see what you think. Do they help? Is it something that makes sense to you? It doesn't make sense to everybody, because good coaches may be a good coach for one, may not be a good coach for someone else. Okay, so coaching, mentorship required, and don't just go running up to people, give them a business card, and say, "I want you to coach me." That's not how it works. You earn the right to be coached by the best. Somebody that doesn't have a whole lot of business is a brand new coach. They're not going to require that. But if you want somebody good, you're going to have to prove somehow or other to earn the right, because there are thousands of people asking. Okay. And you have earned, it doesn't take, you don't have to be talented to earn the right. You have to be committed and disciplined to do that. Committed and disciplined. Okay. So hopefully that'll help. Now, a couple other things about starting your business. One of the other questions from last week, here it is. One of the other questions, how do you keep your energy going? I don't know. I keep my energy going with good eating habits, good sleeping habits. I work out a lot, and I love what I do. Okay. And there are days I don't feel it, but once I get in front of you, I light up, because in my brain, there's a chance that somebody is actually listening and will actually do something with what I'm saying. Okay. And that I'm an eternal optimist when it comes to that kind of thing. Okay. So that's what lights me up. It's part of my mission, part of what I do, and it requires discipline and work, and you got to prepare for that. Okay. Which is another topic for another time. Okay. Now, for all of you, by the way, if you are not in business for yourself, what I'd like you to do is type an S. It takes a while for these comments to get through, but type S in the comment box. Okay. Type S in the comment box. So now I'm struggling with overload information. What should I do? Okay. Supervise, attract. Okay, good. S. Okay. Thank you, Kanika. Okay. Yeah. If you're a solo, if you're working by yourself, type in S. Or if you're an employee, just type in E. Type in E, okay? No shame in either one. Okay, good. S, a couple S's. Okay, so maybe we get a couple E's in there too. Oh, there's another S, Carla. Okay, good. All right, awesome. Okay, so if you're solo, you've already made the jump. And what you've realized, oh, there we go. There's an E. Both E and S. Okay, good. So if you've already made the jump, you already know that part of the deal is you eat what you kill. Means the difference right now is that you need to sell and market yourself or your services. Otherwise, you have no income. And sales equals income, and income gives you life. in your business, that is. Okay. So you have already figured that out. So it's a very different lifestyle issue. That's why you need a coach. Because if you were used to getting a paycheck and now you don't have a paycheck and you got to go create income, it's all well and good until you just kind of, at the end of the week, you just kind of rest for a second and go, oh my God, it's been a hell of a week. I'm really tired. But then you realize there's no paycheck in the mail. There's no check coming to you. So you can rest if you want, but if you haven't sold anything this week or the last week, there's no money coming. And that's a very different realization in your head that nobody's here to bail you out, okay? In just about any country, although that could change over time. But for right now, that's not the way it works. And it's certainly not the way to financial freedom, okay? Now, to go from E to S or from S to B, from employee to self-employed or to business owner, bigger business owner, my suggestion, I've had this question a number of times. The question is, well, how do I make the jump? I would say that the first way to make the jump, and even if you're already as a solo and it's not, maybe you're not sure this is what you want to do. It's in America, it's called a side hustle, a side hustle. In other words, it's like there are lots of businesses out there. Now, I'm obviously advocating training and coaching and consulting. So if that's you, that's great. And I'm suggesting that, okay, because it's wanted and needed. If that's not you, because maybe you don't want to be a trainer, just to understand, I got a list here. I pulled down a list of about 20 businesses that thrived right through the pandemic. I mean, they did great. And you can do these on your own. You can do these. If you're an employee or if you know somebody that's an employee, they could do these on their own. They don't need any team. They don't need anybody else to do this. And the reason I suggest this is because you get a chance to begin to understand the lifestyle before you quit your job. Okay? If you got a job and I don't know if I should, well, don't quit your job if you got income, but take on one of these things. Okay? So like cleaning services. Delivery services. Yeah, like delivery services right now in just about every place. In America, according to Business Wire, online food delivery will be the greatest beneficiary with more than $104 billion US market by 2023. Now you can do that. There's DoorDash, there's meals, there's all kinds of services in various countries. But you can provide some additional income for yourself by going out there and hustling some business doing that. And they'll provide you with the deals. All you got to do is give them your phone number and you go out there and start delivering. Start delivering food to people. Delivery business is a very, very, very big business. Remote fitness. You can be a remote trainer. That's how I do it. I get online with Mac Newton in the comfort of my own home and I work out with him. Cybersecurity consultant. I have somebody in our coaching who is an employee of an organization. He's a cybersecurity consultant. Back in September 2020, there's a major hospital chain in the United States that got hacked and took the whole system down right in the beginning of the pandemic. It was a big wake-up call. Hit 400 locations got hacked all at the same time. The worst in American history. So everybody kind of understands now that that's an important thing. If you're in India, you're an engineer. Lots of engineers in India. This might be something you want to take a look at. E-commerce. Okay. So just so we know, the trend for buying online was great before the pandemic, and the pandemic just accelerated it. Okay. 140 in 2020 was 146% increase in online retail orders. Okay. Party cleanup, going in and cleaning up cleaning up parties. People have events. Being an online reseller, freelance copywriter, home care services. Home care services. National Institute on Aging. The 85 plus population will increase 351% from 2010 to 2050. While those over the age of 100 will increase tenfold in number. Almost all of these populations need care mostly in their homes. You don't have to be a nurse. You don't have to be a practitioner like that. Just somebody that goes by to somebody's house and helps clean it up and straighten things up for them and help them out and run errands for them. Big, big business. Again, these are side hustles. Now, if you do any of these things and you go, wow, I really like doing this, maybe you pick it up and make it a full-time thing. But I wouldn't do that until you start generating enough income where you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, here's one near and dear to our hearts: online teaching. Online teaching. In the United States, it says right here, you can get an average of $22 an hour. And if you have specialized skills, up to $50 an hour. Not bad for, a few hours a day, make an extra $100 a day, $100 a day, that's 5 days, $500 a week. That's $2,000 a month, $24,000 a year. Could you use an extra $24,000? Teaching online. And you always have something that you always have something that you can teach. Some experience that you have, personal development, technical side, and again, there are services out there that actually can provide you with clients if you align yourself with people that have the same expertise. Meal delivery, video editing services, pet sitting. Here's one. Pet sitting. Here's something you could do. According to Fox News, pet adoption and fostering across America has recorded a 700% increase. 700% increase in 2020. No doubt, because a lot of people were staying home. But even if they go back to work, they still have their pets, okay? And they need help. I need it. I got 3 dogs here, and it prohibits me from going away to visit my mother because there's nobody to sit the dogs because they're in such demand, okay? So I'm not sure about your country, but that's one. Ebook writing, affiliate marketing. You've heard of these. Accounting or bookkeeping. Yeah, if you're an accountant, you take bookkeeping, okay? You can make $30 to $40 an hour at the initial phase. Most importantly, they don't require any upfront cost. You can promote your service through Facebook, and if you can market yourself online, that's even better. Online personal assistant, virtual assistants. Online therapy. Maybe you're really good at helping calm people down. Maybe somebody just need people to talk to. But try it before you sustainable energy and sales. So these are 20, and I have another list. I love looking this stuff up. There's another list of 100 of them of actually side businesses. These can actually be full-time, but of side businesses that you can try. Why am I saying this? Because I'm not a big advocate of jumping off the deep end and cutting all your parachute lines. You don't need to do that, okay? Ease yourself into it. Find out if being on your own is something that even works for you. Again, it can be fairly traumatic. It's fun in the beginning, and as long as you have another job, there's no pressure. The minute that other job goes away, now the pressure's on, your emotion goes up, your intelligence goes down, and you don't think clearly. So don't put yourself in that position, okay? As a mentor, as a coach, and if you are an employee or you know somebody that really wants to get out, people are quitting their jobs like crazy right now. And the unfortunate thing is the failure rate of businesses is just as bad as it used to be, which means even more people are going to fail unless they get a mentor, they get a coach, they take it a little step at a time, and they learn the basics of how to do it. And at the minimum, join a cash flow club. I don't get any money for that, so there's no promotional fee for this. Join a cash flow club, play the game 5 times. More, hopefully, but at least 5 times. Then you will understand how to read a financial statement. Then you'll be able to improve your financial position. And if you remember the cash flow game, those of you that have played it, you'll know that even a janitor, the lowest paid occupation on the game board, can become financially free faster than a doctor can. Faster than a doctor can. But you'll only understand that if you've played the game and understand it. See, as I've taught this to our trainers, many of them have already become financially free in other investments. So it frees them up to even be more creative and be even more bold in the training that they're already doing. So their training has gotten better because they're not dependent on the money, because they have investments that are generating them income, or they have a network marketing downline that's helping generate some income for them. Why? Because they're great teachers, leaders, and facilitators, and they know how to lead teams and do those things too. So it's practice for them, and it generates income for them. Okay? So again, my goal out of this call was to help you make the jump from wherever you are to the next level, whether it's from employee to solo or self-employed to business owner or investor. Okay? You don't need to take it on all at once. But what you do need is training, and you do need coaching, and you do need mentors. That's 3 people. Okay? 3 of them. Okay? And I don't have any money. Well, you're still going to have no money unless you get somebody. Okay? That's why you need somebody. Because the reason you don't have money is because at some level in your head, you're pushing the money away. There's more money on this planet right now than ever before in every single country. I'm just saying, look at the amount of money that they're printing. The amount of money sitting there is astronomical. So if you don't have it, part of the reason is because you don't have the knowledge to know how to get it, okay? Or how to put yourself in a position to receive it. So that's why you need a little voice coach. So again, those are my thoughts. What is Anand? Always has something good to say. No, he says 2 things. Entrepreneurship is like a walk in the park. The only problem, it's Jurassic Park. Thank you. All wealth in this global jobless gig economy post-lockdown will be made in the interactive customized distribution of products and services online directly to the consumers. Direct selling will be the next trillion-dollar profession worldwide. By 2030, from around $200 billion, 2021. You take that on, your take on that, sir, from Mumbai. Well, I will tell you this about network marketing. And those of you in network marketing, you might want to pull out your recorders and record this. Years ago, many years ago, back in the late 90s, and early 2000s, but mostly in the late 90s, starting in the late 90s, Robert and I both did a lot of work, a lot of training for network marketing companies. Some of the big ones like Herbalife and Amway and Quick Start and many other ones, right? And for big groups and little groups, and train their trainers, train them on our formula, which is sell, team, teach. You got to learn how to sell. Got to learn how to build a team and teach the team to sell. That's it. Code of honor. And managing your little voice. And that was the formula. That was the formula. And it created many, many multimillionaires in the network marketing business. So I'm just going to say this, which Robert has also said in the past, but don't quote him. You can quote me, is I believe that network marketing is a business school for entrepreneurs. It's a business school for entrepreneurs. In other words, all the things that you need, if you look at the Rich Dad BI triangle, the product is there, the legal systems are there, the operational systems are there, the accounting systems are there. There's a mission, there are teams, you put on teams, there's decent leadership. All of the BI, all the things that a big business needs to have are all in place. The only thing you have to do is to learn how to sell, how to build a team, and to teach your team to sell. And that's the core essence of what it takes to be an entrepreneur if you want to build an entrepreneurial endeavor and build a team. So the guys that are from BSDA that have gone out there to do that, I said, look, you want to get some practice and make some money, why don't you join a network marketing company and just do what I taught you to do? And they're crushing it. And I go, this is easy. Why? Because like I said, where are you going to learn how to sell? School? No. Where are you going to learn how to build a team? School? No. You got to learn it from somebody that knows how to do it. And that's what they did. And now they learned it. Now they're teaching it. Now they're making money with it. So I believe that network marketing is a great tool, provides a great service that allows people to become financially free, generate passive income in a way that might cost them millions of dollars of their own money and where they'd have a high probability of failing. Now, this next part about network marketing, Anand, is the other side of it. Just as we know that over 50% of entrepreneurs fail within 3 years, and 50% of the last 50% fail in the next 2 years, network marketing does not guarantee success. What we know is about 85, maybe 80 to 85% of people in network marketing ever make any money. Now, that may have changed in the last couple of years, but that's what it was like, okay? Because why? Because people don't like to sell. That's the number one reason. That's why the book Sales Dogs and Team Code of Honor and Little Voice Mastery did so well for them, because it taught them how to get past all that stuff very quickly so they could start generating lots of money. And I'm going to say this, is that if you want some practice on how to sell and some practice on how to build a team, you should probably join a good network marketing company, vet it out, find out who the leaders are. Do you respect them? Just because the name brand is good, you got to check the local leadership. Are the leaders people that you admire and that you would respect? Okay. And do that for a couple of years while you're doing your coaching business, while you're doing other things. Like I said, in Europe right now, I've got about 5 or 6 people that are doing that right now. And both businesses now, their training coaching is booming. Their network marketing is generating passive income to them. But the network marketing business was a place for them to practice teaching, practice coaching, practice building teams. And what that did is that practice helped them be better in selling and marketing their training and coaching businesses. So I'm a big believer. Now, am I in network marketing? No, I'm not. And the only reason I'm not, if I were starting all over again, I didn't have any of this, I would. But the reason I don't is it because the challenge for Robert and I is that if we joined a network marketing company, then we wouldn't be able to work with all the other ones, because most network marketers are rightly so, are very proprietary about what they do and how they do it. And they don't want somebody like that jumping from company to company to company and training other people. They just want you to train one company. And my mission is to improve the quality of life for everybody in the world by creating the best teachers and leaders. So remember, if you're in network marketing, this is your job. Learn to sell, learn to build a team, and then learn how to teach your team to sell and recruit. And that cycle will build depth in your organization. Network marketing is a business school for entrepreneurs. It can be one of the best ones in the world, because you don't have to worry about all the other stuff that a big business owner or investor has to worry about, because the leadership has already taken care of all that. Now, when you go out to start your own business, then you'll have to go back to the BI triangle and say, okay, so how do I protect this? I got to develop my own product. A lot of work, but very worth it. Very worth it. Okay. Love the Little Voice Mastery CD, and your sales training is the best. Do you have any virtual courses? I have lots of virtual courses. If you go to blairsinger.com, we have a standard and premium level of courses on all of these topics. Little Voice Mastery, how to create your future, which is a new one coming up. Sales Mastery, Team Code of Honor, entrepreneurship, all of these, how to improve your selling cycle, tons of stuff there. And subscribe to the YouTube channel too, because a lot of the bigger videos are on YouTube. Okay. Network marketing is personal development with a pay plan. Yeah. It can be if the leader understands personal development. There's a lot of people, that's what I'm saying. Remember, Anand, there's the majority of people don't do anything, and they get very frustrated and sometimes even cynical with it because their leader didn't understand the little voice part or the personal development side and didn't coach them through that. So they hit the resistance, backed off, and then they failed. Okay, but you're right. It can be an amazing personal development class on an ongoing basis that actually pays you fairly well. Okay. All right, Michael Lee. Hi, Blair. Yes, I would recommend all of Blair's courses. Massive value. Well, thank you, Michael Lee. And again, we are going through some rewrites of the website, the subscription. site, so be patient with us. But I will tell you that there's a boatload. There's over 30 years of great information, not 30-year-old videos, but 30 years of great information that you just won't learn off of a standard YouTube video, because people understand, okay, this is how you handle an objection, boom, 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 boom. But what they don't teach you is about how to handle the objection that's in your brain, because the objection in your brain is the issue, not what the customer says. It's the issue you're afraid they're going to say and blah, blah, and all that other stuff, and how to unplug all that, okay? So that's why the training, the videos and the training and the downloads and the diagnostics that are all there. You can find out what kind of a sales dog you are, how to play to your strength, find out if your team's any good or not, and also where your little voice is shooting you in the foot and how to stop shooting yourself, okay? All right? So that's about it for right now. We're gonna shorten the length of these things, because I'm going to increase the frequency and hit different time zones so I can get to some more people. So hopefully you're okay with that. You'll be notified, so make sure you subscribe to our channels. Make sure you're subscribed to our subscription site. And again, I just thank you for your questions. Thank you for the question about coaches. How do I find a good coach? And thank you for persisting. Last thing I'm going to say, and I have to rant. Today is a very difficult day for me personally. I feel refuge in working with you. I see the news feeds of what's happening in Afghanistan. I see the news feeds of what's happening in India and places like that with the COVID. I see all these things that are going on around the world, and it saddens me. I can't help but it saddens me. And my friends say, well, you can't do anything about it. I know I can't do anything about it at the moment, but it just saddens me. We live in a world, as I said this morning on a webinar this morning, we live in a world that you, as a teacher, must be a leader. It's not an option. It's not like, well, I want to be a leader too, but I'm really a teacher and a coach. No, you have got to be a leader. Why? Because I believe if I look around me, if I look around us, there is no other choice. We have reached an inflection point on those graphs. We have reached an inflection point on those graphs where it's no longer an option. And the only place you could go to find people that understand what we're talking about here is you. Politicians don't understand it. School teachers don't understand it. Most business owners don't understand it unless they have been informed of the fact that it's a societal responsibility for all of us, myself included, to teach what we know and to help other people and pass the knowledge along. Otherwise, they've all become very good at dividing us, but we need people that know how to unite us, which is what a great leader knows how to do, which is what anybody that knows how to build a team knows how to do. Okay? So learn how to build teams, learn how to sell, learn how to have influence, and do it for something, and do it for good. Do it for the good of yourself, your family, your business, and the community and the world. And at that point, this could be the best of times for all of us. Okay? So I love you guys. We'll see you next time. If you have questions, fire them into us, on any of the platforms that you're on. Hit us with some questions. I'll do my best to answer them, or even make it the topic of the next couple of calls. Okay? All right, you guys, be awesome, be amazing, and I'll see you next week.